that hypocrite did not accept the decision of the Prophet ﷺ, or to any other similar incident. It is said that once there was a dispute between the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, the cousin of the Prophet ﷺ was Zubayr, and one Ansari, inhabitant of Madeenah. The issue was to allow the water which is coming from a canal to the farms of these two gentlemen. Now the farm of Zubayr comes first, and then comes the farm of the other person. So what was the dispute? This Ansari said that let Zubayr leave the water flowing towards my farm after watering his farm for a short while. So Prophet ﷺ said to his cousin Zubayr, all right, water your farm, and after that leave the water flowing to the second person, or to Ansari. Now Ansari was not pleased with these wording. He said to the Prophet ﷺ, all right, you are saying it because this is your cousin. You are showing a favor to your cousin. This is why you said, all right, Zubayr, water your farm first, and then leave the remainder going to my farm. So when he used these words, you are telling it, you are saying it because this person is your cousin? Prophet ﷺ became angry. So he said to his cousin Zubayr, Zubayr, water your farm until the water reaches to a certain height. To a certain height, and after that height, after it reaches to that height, then let it flow to the other person. So in the beginning, Prophet ﷺ has said something which can please Ansari as well. But when he did not accept the decision of the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet ﷺ gave the proper judgment. The proper judgment is that if, as you know that if the water is coming from a well or from a canal, and it is serving so many farms, of course the first farm would receive the water first, and then the second and the third. So how they distribute this water? According to this instruction of the Prophet ﷺ, the first person would take what he needs out of that water. Then he can't stop it. He can't store it. But let it flow to the other person. And the other person, after taking his need, he will leave it for the third person. This is how it is to be distributed. And that is the same principle which should be used for the distribution of the river waters. You know that when rivers flow from one country to other country, if the first country got all the dams and take all the water, nothing is left for the next country. And let me remind you of the disputes of similar nature in India and Pakistan. There are 5 rivers flowing from Indian territory, including Kashmir, towards Pakistan. And out of these 5 rivers, as you know that 2 rivers has totally become dried, because India does not give not a drop of water from these 2 rivers to Pakistan. These are River Sutlej and River Bias. All the water of these 2 rivers are taken by India. And now the other 3 rivers, Ravi and Chenab and Jhelum, it flows to Pakistan. But even then, sometime when India wants to restore or wants to store the water, they don't let Pakistan receive but a very minimum quantity of that water. And sometime if it is flooding, then they open their barrages and their dams, and then the water starts flowing towards Pakistan until it floods the whole area. So that is the injustice which can happen between 2 countries, between even 2 persons, if the Islamic instructions are not followed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it very clear that you people, you can't be real believers until you declare the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as judge among you. And once he gives his judgment, accept it. Verse number 66. وَلَوْ أَنَّا كَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَنِ اقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَيُخْرِجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِكُمْ مَا فَعَلُوهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ مِّنْهُمْ وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ فَعَلُوا مَا يُوعَظُونَ بِهِ لَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُمْ وَأَشَدَّ تَثْبِيتًا. If we have recorded upon them, if we have decreed upon them that they have to fight, they have to kill themselves, it means that they have to come and fight against their own relatives. Or if we have decreed upon them to leave their houses and come to Madeenah, all of them, مَا فَعَلُوهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ مِّنْهُمْ, only a few of them would have done it. So it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not want from them something which they can't do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not ask them to come and fight their own relatives who did not become Muslim by that time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not ask them to leave their homes, because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked them to do these things, they could not do it. And so what is better for them? وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ فَعَلُوا مَا يُوعَظُونَ بِهِ لَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُمْ. Only if they have done those things by which they are being admonished, that was better for them, and that was farthest to strengthen their faith. That is the real explanation of this verse. Some people have said that it means that, as it is said, that once there was a dialogue between Sabit ibn Qais, one Ansari, and a Jew. The Jew said that in our history we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when asked us to kill ourselves, so we have killed our own people. You understand the story of the worship of the golden calf, and after that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, all right, uqtulu anfusakum, kill yourselves. So they said that about 70,000 of them were killed at that time. So the Jews was proud of their ancestors, that when we were asked to kill ourselves, we killed ourselves. And when we were asked to leave our homes, we left our homes. So the Ansari, Sabit ibn Qais, replied in this way, that if even we are asked to do the same, to kill ourselves or to leave our home, we are going to do it. And Prophet ﷺ, when he was reported, this matter was reported to the Prophet ﷺ, he said, yes, some of my Sahaba are very strong, just like mountains in their faith. Even if they are called to kill themselves, they would have killed themselves. That is another explanation of this ayah. But as I said, the first explanation is more suitable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them that these people, if they are demanded to kill themselves or to leave their home, they could have not done it, these hypocrites. So it is better for them to do what they are demanded to do. And if they do that, that is better for them. It is going to strengthen their faith. وَإِذًا لَآتَيْنَاهُمْ مِنْ لَدُنَّا أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا, and then we are going to give them a great reward from us. وَلَهَدَيْنَاهُمْ صِرَاطًا مُسْتَقِيمًا, and then we have to guide them to the right path. Verse 67. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. And the person who obeys Allah and the prophets, anyone, he would be with those people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has graced, like the prophets, like the Siddiqeen, like Shuhada, like Salihin, the good people, وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا, and their company is the best company. It is said that one Sahabi said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that, O Prophet of Allah, after death you will enter paradise, you would be in the highest paradise. And we will not be able to see you. We will be somewhere else in a lower paradise, we can't see you. He was showing his sorrow and his wish to see Prophet of Allah even in the hereafter. So this ayah was revealed, that those people who obey Allah and the Prophet, they would be in Jannah with all these people. And they are starting from the prophets, and then Siddiqeen, and then Shuhada, and then Salihin. And their company is the best company. It does not mean that they would be in the same paradise or in the same palace or in the same rank, no. Because Jannah is so many ranks. But they would be able to see each other, to visit each other. That would be possible. And Prophet ﷺ has said, Al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba. A person would be with whom he likes. If you like the Prophet ﷺ and you do as he has done, you would be with the Prophet in Jannah. But of course, if you love the musicians, and if you love the film stars, and if you love just the players, so you can think about your own destiny. You can think with whom you would be in the hereafter. Another Sahabi of the Prophet ﷺ came to the Prophet and asked this question, إِنِّي أُحِبُّ مُرَافَقَتَكَ فِي الْجَنَّةِ. I love your company, O Prophet of Allah, in Jannah. So Prophet ﷺ said to him, if you like this thing, then do one thing. أَعِنِّي عَلَيَّ بِكَثْرَةِ السُّجُودِ. أَعِنِّي عَلَيَّ بِكَثْرَةِ السُّجُودِ. You help me by a lot of prostration, a lot of sajda. Yani pray, a lot of nafil prayer, and inshallah you would be with me in Jannah. He did not say to him, just say my name and say there was only. No. He gave him a practical way, and that is do a lot of nafil prayer, and you would be with me in Jannah. There is another hadith which says that التاجر الصدوق مع النبيين والشهداء والصالحين. مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين. A true merchant, a good merchant who is not deceiving, who is not cheating in his trade, he would be with the prophets of Allah and Siddiqeen and Shuhada and Salihin in the hereafter. So it means that even a person who is just a merchant, he is not a big alim, not a big scholar, not a big muballigh, but because of his truthfulness, because of his honesty in his trade, he would be with the prophets and with Siddiqeen and Shuhada and Salihin in the hereafter. Now here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that any person who obeys Allah and the prophets, he would be with those people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has graced, and they are first of all Nabi, and after Nabi comes the rank of Siddiq, and then comes the rank of Shuhada, and then comes the Salihin, the pious people. See, all four ranks. Siddiq is the one who got no doubt, no hesitation in believing in Allah and His prophets. And this is why Sayyidina Abu Bakr was given this title of Siddiq, because as Prophet ﷺ has said that many people got some hesitations at the time of Iman, except Abu Bakr. When I said to him that I am the Prophet of Allah, he said, Amantu billah wa amantu bi Rasulillah. He got no hesitation at all. So he was given the title of Siddiq. And it also shows that as the first caliph, he was right. He deserved it. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His Quran has mentioned first of all Nabi, and then He mentioned Siddiq. Prophet of Allah is Nabi. So after his death, who should have to take the control of the Muslim Ummah? Siddiq. So he was the right caliph after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nobody got the right to say that he was not the first caliph, or he got no right to become the first caliph. No. This ayah makes it very clear that after Nabi comes the rank of Siddiq. After Siddiq, who is mentioned here? Shuhada. And you know that after Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Umar, and he was a shaheed. And then Sayyidina Usman, he was a shaheed. And then Sayyidina Ali, radiallahu ta'ala anhu ajmain, he was also a shaheed. And remember this hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which I mentioned last time, that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sitting on the mountain, Uhud mountain, and then the mountain, there was a shaking or a movement in the mountain itself. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Usbut Uhud. He said to the mountain, Usbut Uhud, be steady, O Uhud. فَإِنَّ عَلَيْكَ نَبِيٌّ وَصِدِّيقٌ وَشَهِدَانٌ. Because upon you is sitting now a prophet and a Siddiq and two Shaheed. At that time Umar and Usman were sitting with him. وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. And their company is very good. Rafiq means your companion. Their company is a good company. Now, after understanding the true meaning of this ayah, let us come to the distorted meaning taken by the Indian prophets. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, not Indian prophets, so-called prophets. People said to him that there is no prophet after the Prophet of Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, no, there would be some prophets. Because this ayah is saying that whoever believes Allah and the prophets, he would be with those people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has graced, from among the prophets and Siddiqeen and Shuhada and Salih. So what is the distorted meaning he has taken? He said that if you obey Allah and the Prophet, you would have the rank of Nabi and Siddiq and Shuhada and Sabit. And you can be like Nabi and Siddiq and Shuhada and Salih. But is it the true meaning of this ayah? This ayah is not saying that if you obey Allah and the Prophet, you will become a prophet, you will become a Siddiq, you will become a Shuhada, you will become a Salihin. It does not say like that. It says that those people who believe in Allah and His Prophet, they will be with those people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has graced, and they are Nabiyeen and Siddiqeen and Shuhada and Salihin. And to make it very clear that the company is mentioned here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ended this ayah by saying, وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا, and their company is the best company. So it did not say that these people would become prophets. No, it said they would be with the prophets because their company is the best company. And if we take their distorted meaning, then what would be the meaning of this hadith which I have just quoted? That a true merchant will be with the prophets and Siddiq and Shuhada and Salihin on the Day of Judgment. Does it mean that every true merchant will become a prophet of Allah because he is true in his trade? No, nobody has said that. He should show us how many good traders and merchants have become prophets. This is how these people who got no understanding of Al-Quran, they want to distort the meaning of Quran just to suit their own purposes. Quran is very clear that there is no prophet after the Prophet of Allah. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين. وخاتم النبي, he is the seal of the Prophet. The Prophet who has been sealed after his coming. No more prophet at all. And then the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, الرسالة والنبوة قد انقطعت فلا نبي بعدي ولا رسول. The messengerhood and the prophethood have come to an end. So there is no messenger, no prophet after me at all. And then we also say to this Indian prophet,
if you an Indian prophet, it may misunderstanding. So he is a kazzab, with clear-cut understanding. He died in the Paikhana.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Anyhow, I did not want to mention his name. This is why I say an Indian prophet, so that people understand from which country he came, so they know, because India only produced one prophet, not more than one. So we also ask him that if by obeying Allah and the Prophet ﷺ one can become a prophet, then why only one person in 1400 years' time after the death of the Prophet has become a prophet? And that is you. Only one? It means all other people did not obey Allah and His Prophet. Even Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali, they did not obey Allah and His Prophet. So this person got no argument at all, but he wanted just to distort the meaning of this verse. Now, as I have explained previously, that Siddiq is the one who got no doubt in believing in Allah and the Prophets. Shaheed, in Arabic actually it means a witness, a testimony. But because the person who is martyred in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given witness to the religion by his blood, this is why he was given the title of Shaheed. Though Shaheed means a witness. This is why it is said that this ummah is a witness upon other people. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. And we have made you a balanced ummah so that you become witness upon other people as the Prophet ﷺ is a witness upon you. So here the word shaheed and the plural is shuhada is used, meaning that you have to give the testimony of this religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared you to become a witness for this religion of Islam. When people see you, they will come into Islam. That's what it means. Every person, every Muslim is a shaheed in this sense, shaheed of this religion. Now, when you are called for a shahada, for a testimony in the court, of course everybody knows it, that you have to say the truth. You don't try to hide the truth. This is why they asked you to swear first upon your holy book and say that I am going to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth. So when you become a shaheed or a witness for this religion, it means that you should give a true testimony of this Islam, not a false testimony of this Islam. If you live in a non-Muslim country, your duty becomes more intensive, because all the non-Muslims, they see you, they watch you, and they judge Islam by your character. So if you live like a true Muslim, you don't cheat the people, you don't make frauds in your trade, you don't do anything which is injurious to the religion of Islam, then you are giving a true witness to Islam, true testimony to Islam. But if you got restaurants labeled as off license and fully licensed, and then you say, all right, we don't drink by ourselves, we just present it to the non-Muslims, this is not acceptable at all. Because the liquor is prohibited, and the selling of it, and buying it, and drinking it, and manufacturing it, everything is prohibited.
All are haram.
All the money which you incur from the sale of liquor is haram. And when you buy your food from that income, you are eating haram, you are drinking haram. And as you know that your dua, your supplication is not accepted if you are eating or drinking haram. Your whole flesh of your body is nourished with haram. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made two places in the hereafter. One where all haram things would go, that is the hellfire. And one where halal things would go, and that is al-Jannah. So if your body is nourished from haram, where it should go then? It should go to a haram place, which is the hellfire. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, كُلُّ لَحْمٍ نَبَتَ مِنْ سُحْتٍ فَالنَّارُ أَوْلَى بِهِ. Any flesh which is nourished from haram, the hellfire is more deserving to have it. It is waiting for it. So we must understand that we have to give the true testimony for Islam in this country. You don't say that let us compromise a bit of Islam and a bit of kufr just to please al-kuffar. No. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown you that such a great mercy that you are declared as the testimony, as the witness for Islam in this country. So be good witnesses, not wrong witnesses. And if you do that, you will be with the prophets of Allah and with shuhada and salihin. Salihin here means all the pious people. So among the Sahaba Ikram, you got these three categories now. Siddiq, which is Sayyidina Abu Bakr, and then shuhada, and there are many shuhada, and then salihin, all other Sahaba. They are known as salihin, are the pious people. And if a person got their company in the hereafter, ذَلِكَ الْفَضْلُ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ عَلِيمًا. Such is the bounty from Allah, and sufficient is it that Allah knows all. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. صلى الله تعالى على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
Ayat
60 to 70. Yes, now any questions?
Is there any
You
question?
mentioned about liquor is haram. What about interest? The people take interest and they feed themselves and their children and family. What about this one? Is haram too?
There is no doubt that a riba, the interest is haram. And even Quran has said that those people who deal in riba, they are waging a war against Allah and His Prophet. The matter is also very serious as far as interest is concerned. So, a Muslim should be very careful in this matter. Now, what is happening nowadays that as Prophet ﷺ has predicted that a day would come when people would try to avoid interest or riba, but they could not be able to avoid it. It will become just like dust. Wherever you live, you got that dust and you got it. So this is actually what is happening, that all our economy is based upon interest. Even if you want to avoid it, you can't avoid it totally. Because if you keep your money in the bank, then these people are to have interest upon it. Either they add interest into it, or if you take a loan, they want interest from you. In both cases, there is an interest involved. So it means that a true Muslim should try to avoid that interest as far as he can. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. So fear Allah as far as you can. And you can't keep your money at home. You are forced to put it in the bank, so don't take interest upon it. Or don't deal in that type of account where interest is taken or given. In the same way, try to avoid mortgage as far as you can. If you got no place to live, in this country, of course, you don't have a hut where you can live by yourselves. You should have a house. So if you can have your house, either by renting it or by getting it on a lower rent from the council, then go for it first. But if you don't have such type of alternatives at all, you are forced into such a situation where there is no alternative left but a mortgage, then only then you go for that. Before that you don't do it. So this is how we can deal with this situation. We should try to avoid it as far as we can, and then leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the last time which the question was placed here about the big amount of interest. If you are living in a Muslim country, of course in a Muslim country, the banking system should be based upon the Islamic teachings. There should be no riba at all. But in a non-Muslim country where the economy is not in your hand, if you got big sums of